Hey, you're watching That Track Channel, and today we are checking out the 2015 Mercedes-Benz S550 4MATIC Coupe, one of Mercedes' flagship cars. Now, before we get into the review on this car, I wanted to talk about a term I've heard in the past, and that's shrinkflation. Now, if you don't know that term, what that is meaning you still pay the same price for a specific item, you just get less of it. And that's why I want to talk about the word shrinkflation with this S550, because see, Mercedes used to name their cars based on the size of the engines in their cars, right? So if you bought a C350, it would have a 3.5 liter. If you bought a C250, it would have a 2.5 liter, right? So you would think an S550 would have a 5.5 liter, but that's not the case. It's actually got a 4.7 liter V8. Now, luckily, Mercedes was nice enough to throw on a couple twin turbos for you to make up and give you that horsepower that you're accustomed to. And this move wasn't actually shrinkflation. This move was all about fuel economy. And this big car weighing almost 5,000 pounds still gets 26 miles per gallon. Should have been called an S470. Now, this particular car that we're looking at is sitting on aftermarket 20-inch wheels, but it would be quite common for you to find a 20-inch wheel on the factory S550 anyways. Of course, where we're at, you can see all the snow on the ground, so this is sitting on a winter wheel setup right now, or winter tire setup. This car as well, you're gonna find beautiful features such as the chrome trim, and one thing that's super cool is the lack of a B-pillar on this car, which is an iconic look for these big coupe cars from Mercedes lineup. And you have LED turn signals built into the mirrors as well. You're gonna find large brakes on these cars with a cross-drilled rotor and big, massive calipers to get this thing stopped. Being an S-Class coupe, this is Mercedes' flagship product, so it's loaded with all the bells and whistles. You're gonna find cameras in the front grille, as well as park sensors in the front bumper, and then it's finished with this beautiful chrome bottom lip. The headlamps, I almost feel like might have been designed in collaboration with Mercedes and West Coast Customs. I feel like they might have got Exhibit on the phone, and Exhibit was asking them, what type of stuff do you guys like? And Mercedes was like, we like the finer things in life. We like diamonds, we like crystals, etc., etc. And the boys over at West Coast Customs were like, yo, we heard you like crystals, so we decided to put Swarovski crystals in your headlights. As mentioned earlier, this is the 4.7 liter V8 twin turbo engine, and it's paired up to a 7-speed multi-clutch transmission. Car's also all-wheel drive, which helps get you through that quarter mile in about 12.8 seconds. The car produces around 450 horsepower, so it's no slouch. Obviously, the bigger, badder S63 is going to be much faster, but not everyone needs all that horsepower. And that's where this car comes in, is it's the ultimate grand tourer for the guys that don't need insane hypercar speed. The car looks beautiful from behind, and it's finished with this beautiful chrome trim. The tail lamps are LED as well, which obviously is nice at nighttime, right? When you get on the brakes, nice and bright, and alert people behind you that obviously you're braking and coming to a stop or slowing down. The car has dual exhaust, and the reverse camera is actually hidden behind the Mercedes logo. This actually flips up, and the camera will stick out. The great feature and benefit of this is obviously that the camera's stored away and it never really gets dirty. It never gets exposed to the elements, right? So you never really see the camera unless you're reversing. What a great feature Mercedes thought of. The car has a full 360 camera system, which you're seeing on display there. And the interior of these cars is absolutely top notch. And this is where these S-Class coupes really shine. Now, the nice part too is the fit and finish in this car is exactly on par with the S63. The steering wheel in this car is beautifully finished with like a wood inlay, and it's got a flat kind of bottom here. And it's got paddle shifters mounted on the back for that 7-speed multi-clutch transmission. As well has power tilt and telescopic, so you can move it up and down all off of a stalk off the side of the steering column. And now guys, I'm sure you probably already recognize this, but I'm a big dude. I'm 6'5", 300 plus pounds. And I can be honest with you guys and tell you that this car has lots of room for a big guy like myself. It's got an 18-way power adjustable seat, and if you can't find a comfortable position in this car, you're not gonna find a comfortable position in any car. Now, I'll try not to be silent for too long, but I must mention you guys are actually interrupting my massage right now. And that's right, this car does have massage seats and different modes, such as a hot relaxing massage for your back, hot relaxing massage for your shoulders, activating massage, a classic massage, mobilizing massage, and an active workout. And once again, being in the interior of an S-Class is the place to be, especially if you like comfort. So now I've had the privilege of reviewing the big brother to this car, the S63 AMG, which I'll actually drop a link for right away here. And I must say that the beautiful part about this S550 is the interior is so next level. About the only difference that I'm finding in this interior compared to the other interior was it doesn't have this raised stitched AMG logo on the center console, but it does have practically every other feature that was in that car, plus some others. This car literally has almost everything you could possibly think of. As a matter of fact, there's nothing that I can't think of that isn't in here. You have AM, FM, satellite radio. You still even have a CD player, believe it or not. I think that's a 6-disc. And Burmester sound systems, absolutely incredible. You have navigation. You obviously have Bluetooth audio. You have all your phone capabilities. You even have this cool feature right here, night vision. That's right, in case you wanted to feel like you were active military driving your tanks through the streets, they give you night vision so you can see what it's like to be part of the military. Now this is a great feature, especially if you're coming home late at night just so you don't run over your neighbor's kids. This thing will light them up like a Christmas tree. The only downfall I can think about in the interior of this car is the fact that as you get older with age, it becomes harder and harder to learn about stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, there's gonna be quite a bit of a learning curve for anyone buying one of these things because there's a lot of tech to take in here, right? Like the screens, obviously, there's so much stuff going on that you gotta really learn how to use this center dial and navigate your way through the infotainment units, et cetera, right? So to me, that's really the only downfall I could find in this car is just the fact that there's a bit of a learning curve to get to know how to operate all of this car. But once you master it, oh man, as I said, it doesn't get any better than sitting in an S-Class coupe. Now, why don't we take this thing for a drive and see how it is on the road? First impressions driving, guys, I want to say it drives like a Cadillac. I'm sure you've heard that statement before, and that pretty much just symbolizes how good and smooth and quality of an automobile it is, but in this case, it's actually a bit of a disservice. No disrespect, Cadillac, but this Benz is, I don't want to be comparing this Mercedes to a Cadillac. This Mercedes is absolutely incredible how quiet and smooth it is on the interior of this thing. And like, it's all the little things that go into a Mercedes that make it what it is. A car like this has dual pane glass, right? So think about that. Your glass is double the thickness of regular glass, which helps obviously with sound insulation, right? Making this car really quiet on the road. And it does, it literally just floats down the highway. And like, if you had the choice to take something across the country, this would be it. If you had this sitting at your house, this is the car you would want to take. No questions asked. And of course, there is seats in the back of this car. And okay, fine, maybe it might not be that comfortable for me being 6'5", but I'm sure I could get back there and I could go on a short trip and sit back there if I needed to. Now, the one thing that I do love is the fact that Mercedes did in fact downgrade it. It's not even a downgrade, but the fact that they went to a 4.7 liter V8 twin turbo to me makes a lot of sense, because we're cruising along in this big, almost 5,000 pound coupe, and it's still a quick car. It's 450 horsepower, but we get 26 miles per gallon while we're cruising along the highway. And that's awesome. This car we're driving as well has the dynamic seats in it. So whenever you're turning left and right, the bolsters move on the sides of the seats, so you can really kind of feel it lock you in place, which is really cool. Okay, there's no way we can drive an S550 and not do a little bit of an acceleration with it. So let's give it a go. Oh yeah, it definitely gets going pretty good. Now guys, if you're at home and you're watching this because you're researching and trying to purchase a pre-owned S-Class coupe, my recommendation to you is to go out and go see one in person and go drive it. I honestly think if you're in the market for a car of this caliber, that as soon as you drive one, you are probably going to be sold on it. So of course, maybe don't go drive one unless you want to buy one, because you probably will end up buying it.
Well guys, that's all I got for today on this beautiful S550 Coupe. Big special thanks to Central Exotics for letting me borrow this car to shoot a review on it. And as always guys, make sure to like this video and please consider subscribing to my channel. We'll catch you all on the next one. Thanks.